Hey everyone, thanks for joining. So, I'm going to share the number one secret in you finally breaking free from food obsession. Get excited! Because this kept me in the dark for like 15 years when I was trying to break free myself from, the eating disorder that I had, depression, anxiety, over exercising, like, dude, you name it, I was experiencing it. And the moment that when I tell you the secret, actually incorporated this into my life and realized this, it was like a light bulb clicked. And that is the moment that I finally started to walk into and down the path that I am today, that like healed me so much that I just had to share this with you. Because, side note, for me, if any of you know me, like I suck at keeping secrets, especially for myself, right? If someone came to me and was like, Katie, please don't tell anyone because blah, 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 I'm not gonna tell. But if it's my own, I can't keep it contained. Ask my husband, because if I were to give a gift, and maybe I wasn't supposed to give it for like a week or two or like a month or so sometimes, I would get home and be like, do you want to know what I got you? Do you want to know what I got you? And he was like, no. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what I got you, right? Because I'm that person that just has to share this stuff because it's exciting. And I know that it kept me in the dark for 15 years and I had to be the one to finally break free from this, and I had to share it with you. So, the moment you've all been waiting for, right? Because this truly is the key to changing your life forever, right? Like a lot of times you make changes, there might be short term, and then you're still stuck where you are, and then you just keep going into these cycles. So the number one key and secret to breaking free from food obsession is, it has nothing to do with food. It literally has nothing to do with food. And the moment I tell people this, I get weird looks. I really do. And I understand, because if you were to tell me this when I was going through a lot of this for the 15 years that I was doing it, I would have been, dude, you're crazy. Oh my gosh, how does it not deal with food, right? Because I'm using food to try and cope, to try and suppress, to try and numb, to try and maybe feel. And how can it not have anything to do with food, right? It doesn't. And the reason why, and I'll get to this in a little bit, but I really want to talk about the reasons why potentially food really doesn't actually work when you only focus on it, right? So when you are in the mindset, say you're trying to lose weight and you're like, oh my gosh, it's obviously the food that's causing the issues as to why I'm gaining all this weight. And then you only focus on the food, right? You only try to go on this massive diet. You only try to calorie count. You only try to exercise your butt off. And then you're like, I'm not losing the weight. Why am I not losing the weight, right? I'm eating all healthy and stuff, but then maybe at night you're nighttime snacking, or maybe you're overeating on some of these things. And you're like, well, why isn't anything working? I know I'm focusing on the food, but nothing's working. That's the reason, because you're focusing on the food, right? Food truthfully is a coping mechanism. Food is truthfully an expression from deep within, showing itself in the outside world, right? That's what it is. It has, the moment that you finally separate the emotions that you're feeling and you from the food that you're eating, is the moment you can break free. You can break free from this. And this is what I had to share with you. Oh my gosh, like, this is the secret that I could not contain any longer because I had to share it with you. And like I said, everyone looks at me crazy when I say this, but it is the truth, because trust me, for 15 years, I tried to only focus on food. I tried to only focus on controlling food to control my life. And guess what? It wasn't working. My life literally just was out of control for that amount of time because I wasn't actually looking deep within. And what I help clients do, truthfully, is look within and really figure out the whys behind the food obsession, right? Like, why do I turn to food when I'm sad, when I'm lonely, when I'm frustrated? Why do I have this like innate need to have to control everything that I'm eating or everything that I'm doing, right? Because you'll find that food is your main coping mechanism in life in general, right? So it doesn't always resort to just food being the issue, right? Because you might have concerns maybe in your relationships, maybe in your friendships, maybe in your career, and things like that, and you're using food to be that main coping mechanism. And the moment, like I said, the moment you take food out of the equation, and I've said this before, the moment you take food out of the equation and you really focus on you, and you really look deep within and see what is going on, that is the moment that you can create this new life for you that is long lasting. This is long-term stuff, right? I do not work with clients that only want to have short-term success, because that just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, and it's not going to work for you. You deserve way better than that. You deserve so much more than just a short-term fix, because you have your entire life to live. And why would you really want only 2 or 3 months of it to be amazing when it really won't be, because you aren't focusing on the things that you actually need to? And instead, looking at this path that you're going to be going down that is going to transform you into this amazing being that you already are. And it's mostly you just coming to terms with you, right? It's you noticing you for what you really are, and not what the food has sort of controlled and deemed impossible, so to speak, for you to achieve, right? And this is exciting. So, side note, we have a lot of animals. Truthfully, there's one cat behind me right now, and because I'm like getting excited over this kind of thing and she was trying to sleep, she's just giving me the most evil look because I keep waking her up. Oh, this is the life. This is what gets me excited about these kinds of things. So, sorry, Puka, but I'm not done yet. All right, so like I said, the secret, the key to breaking free from this is truly just getting rid of the food, right? Just take that out of the equation, because I really want you to look deep within and find what is going on inside, right? Do you feel as though you are trying to fill this void with food? Do you feel like you have sort of this emptiness inside and you don't know how to fill it? And no matter how much food you stuff in there, no matter how much food you restrict from yourself, no matter how many calories that you burn, no matter how much you try to control every little tiny little thing in your life, and you realize that your life still feels like shit to you, that's when you really need to look within, right? That's when food is not the issue, which it isn't, right? It's not the main issue here. And I really want to stress to you, and I stress to my clients, that food, unfortunately, is not the thing that you need to look at. It is the thing that you naturally look at, right? Because you're finding that that's going to be sort of that symptomatic thing that you're looking at. But we want to look what's deep inside, right? Like, my heart was hurting for the longest time. I had the massive hole within that I had no idea how to fill. I had no idea how to do it. And I just kept falling further and further and further and further away from reality and from myself. And it was still in there, right? Like, you are not lost. When anyone says they feel as though they've given up hope, there's no hope for them. They have no idea how they're actually going to break free from this, because it's controlled them for how long. I'm here to tell you, there is always a way. There is always you still inside. That has never left. Unfortunately, things just keep sort of piling in over top, and we just have to keep taking the layers out until we reach you. That is it. Really, like, that's the key thing here is you. Is finding you. Finding you amongst everything that you've been trying to sort of suppress and trying to avoid and trying to cover up. We just have to find you. And we can, because you're in there. You are shining. I can see that little light shining even though you can't see it. And this is the amazing stuff that I'm talking about. And this is really that secret to finally breaking free from this food obsession, right? just take the food out of the equation. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Right? And in the time that I work with my clients, this is some of the main stuff that we really like to work on, because it's a lot of that mindset too, right? You have to be willing. You have to be willing to look deep within. You have to be willing to be scared, to be vulnerable, to be fearful, but you have to be willing to get excited, to actually want this, right? Because it's hard work. It is hard work. Sometimes loving yourself. It is hard work sometimes actually just accepting yourself. It is sometimes hard work to just look in the mirror and smile back at what you're seeing, or even just to look in the mirror at what is that reflection, because half the time I wouldn't even do it. I didn't want to look in the mirror because I hated myself so much. I hated what was going on in my life. I hated the fact that I felt out of control. I hated the fact that I always felt guilty for eating things or wanting things that I actually wanted, but oh my God, I can't have them because heaven forbid my life is going to be out of control, right? Like, I hated so much, and I was just so sad and angry and just frustrated with my life for 15 years that it got the best of me for that amount of time. And I wanted to change that in a sense that no one else had to do the same thing that I did, because it's not worth it. You don't deserve it. You are meant to be this amazing person in life, and I don't want you to have to suffer for 1 second longer. So I wanted to share the secret with you all, because this stuff gets me excited. And I woke up my cat again, sorry. Because, oh my gosh, like I said, if anyone told me that food was not the main concern in a eating disorder, in food obsession, in over-exercising, in anxiety that I would get anytime I thought about food, had to go out to eat, had to cook, had to do anything with food, and that person told me that food wasn't the actual thing going on, I would have said, you're crazy. And I did. I did for 15 years, and then I was stuck for 15 years because I wouldn't listen. And the moment I actually listened to what was going on, and the moment that little piece that was in me for how long said, just stop with the food. Look deep within. You are serious. Like, I was screaming from inside. I was screaming from inside, and I wasn't listening. I really wasn't. And the moment I listened to it is the moment my life changed. It really did. And that is what I want for you. I want your life to change into the life that you want, into the life that you have been dreaming of for so long, into the life that you feel as though you'll never get to, because you can. That is the amazing part, right? You can do whatever you dream. You can do whatever you think of, because you have this amazing ability, which I've said before, to change the thoughts, to change what's going on inside, because unfortunately you've created this as well. And I've talked about this before too, where someone may have planted this unforsakable seed that said that you weren't worth it. You weren't good enough. You were too fat. You were too ugly. You weren't smart enough. You will never be successful. You're always going to have these issues. Someone or something planted that seed within inside you. And you unfortunately kept that growing. And like I said before, you get to change that. You get to grow something else. You get to grow something that actually means what you actually are. And that is beautiful. That is worthy. That is loving. That is compassion. That is just passionate about you, right? You get to make that change. And I wanted to share this secret with you because I know that's going to change your life. I know that this is going to be a key step into the right direction that you want. And I had to share it. I couldn't keep this in. I just couldn't keep this in. And this is exactly the kind of thing that I work with my clients on, because I know from personal experience what happens when that food takes over, when that food decides to be that main component in your life, when it becomes your lover, when it becomes your only friend, when it becomes your life, when it becomes your confidant, when it becomes everything. And everything else that truly matters in life gets put on that back burner. And unfortunately, you lose friendships, you lose relationships, you damage relationships. You might not get to the career that you want because you've been focusing on food. You might not even have any true spiritual sense within you because you've been focusing on food. And that's what I want to bring to the table, and that is what I help my clients with. Because there's more to life out there than thinking about food 24/7. There's more to life out there than having to work out every day, or the fact that, oh my gosh, I didn't work out for 4 days, gotta get into the gym, right? Like, there's way more to life out there than that. There really is. And I am here to show it to you. And I am here to just bring what is within you to the surface again, because it's there. It's there. It's so there. And I just can't wait for you to see it. This, like, the thing that really excites me is when my clients finally have that light bulb moment and see that it's been there all along. It really has. And that stuff just gets me so excited about this kind of thing. And that stuff is what gets me so excited about sharing these things with you and not keeping it contained, because it is meant to be heard and it's meant for you to hear it as well. So if any of this resonates with you, like, please let me know. If any of this, you're like, I don't know if I believe this. I want to hear this too, right? Because I love this conversation. I want to be able to talk about these things and get this out into the world, because I know that it helps, because it helped me and it helps the clients that I work with. So if any of this resonates with you, please comment below. I love to hear your thoughts about this kind of thing and where you might be getting stuck, right? If that just seems so scary, if it seems like, what, you want me to not think about food? You are cray-cray. That is also what I want to hear, because I am here to prove you wrong. I am here to show you the way to this amazing life that you know that you want and can have. You're just maybe afraid to take those steps into that right direction. All right, so that's what I'm here for. If you have questions, please ask. All right, so in the comments below, I can put my calendar up there if you feel as though that you are ready to finally break free from this food obsession and are willing to put in the time and effort to do this and to get the life that you want. I'm going to put my calendar in the comments below, and let's hop on a call, right? Let's hop on that free call and see where we can get you to where you want to be. All right, that's what I'm here for. So, like I said, the secret to finally breaking free from this food obsession is it has nothing to do with food. That's the amazing thing, right? So, enjoy the rest of your day, because I know I'm going to. Weirdly enough, I'm actually wearing a tank top and it's like the middle of October, but it's actually a little bit hot in our house because the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day out there. So why not embrace the tank top until I can no longer, and then I switch to sweaters, which is awesome, by the way, anyways. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I can't wait to hear from you to see if this resonated with you, if you have questions, comments, concerns, anything. And like I said, in the comments below, you're going to find the calendar that you can schedule that free consultation with me, and we can start getting you on this track to freedom. All right? So, until next time.